We're in an era where mental health isn't quite talked about, or we're just beginning to, let's say, talk about mental health. Earlier, you didn't used to be talked about enough, but we've now started to talk about mental health. We're also in an era where you don't have cricketers cast their opinion, put their true opinions out the way that a certain Ravichandran Ashwin does. He now, by the way, has touched upon two of those issues that I just talked about, mental health, and then he's now talked about retirement. Again, not many cricketers do you see in today's day and age be very open in terms of talking about their retirement. Ravichandran Ashwin has now told exactly when he will know will be the time for him to call it quits in the game of cricket. Over the next couple of minutes, we'll tell you about both the subjects that we just touched upon. First, of course, we'll talk you through about what Ravichandran Ashwin feels will be the time for him to retire. Then we will also tell you about what time was it in his professional career that Ravichandran Ashwin says that he was indeed in a dark phase, and that he has now in fact, in that time, he needed some help as well with regards to his mental health. And he also has now said that he's already, for good 5 years now, been looking past the game of cricket, and he's prepared for any sort of eventuality. So stick with us for the next couple of minutes. We'll talk about Ravichandran Ashwin in detail, because this also, by the way, comes at a time where Ravichandran Ashwin, you saw him be there in the ODI World Cup squad. In fact, he was paratrooped in many ways because he wasn't in the ODI scheme of things. He was paratrooped in many ways, played that first game in Chennai against Australia as well. After that, his participation in the World Cup was next to nothing. Now that the squads for the South Africa tour are out, Ravichandran Ashwin doesn't see himself in the white ball format. He's been featured in the two test matches, in the squad for the two test matches. But Ravichandran Ashwin again getting the short end of the stick when it comes to white ball cricket. So we'll tell you more about Ravichandran Ashwin and those two subjects over the next few minutes. Now, this is what Ravichandran Ashwin feels as far as his work ethic, as far as his retirement is concerned. Now, this will tell you the individual or the professional that Ravichandran Ashwin is, what kind of headspace he's in right now, and when exactly will he know that it is time for him to call it quits in the game of cricket. Ravichandran Ashwin says, and I quote, that I've been preparing for life after cricket for nearly 5 years now, but I continue to work hard on my cricket to contribute with the bat. I in fact went to the USA and practiced baseball. Now, that's to tell you how seriously the man takes his cricket as well. In fact, his batting, even though Ravichandran Ashwin is conceived to be a bowling all-rounder, Ravichandran Ashwin, remember, the batter has a few hundreds with the bat in test match cricket as well. To enhance his batting skills, by the way, Ravichandran Ashwin not too long back did go and learn a few baseball, train with a baseball as well, a baseball bat in the USA. Something that we've seen other cricketers do as well in the past, just to, enhance their hitting ability. Ravichandran Ashwin, that's Ravichandran Ashwin for you, by the way. That's how seriously he takes his role of being an all-rounder. He then goes on to say that the day that I lose the motivation, I feel irritated about waking up in the morning to bowl or bat. I know it is over. I will then quit immediately. So this is what Ravichandran Ashwin says as far as his retirement plans are concerned. For now, he says he is motivated enough to wake up every morning, train both with the bat and the ball, train to get himself in the right shape, be prepared. And if it wasn't for all the training that Ravichandran Ashwin has been doing on the sidelines, remember, he wouldn't have been playing that first match against Australia in Chennai in the World Cup. Because remember, what did Rohit Sharma say in the lead up to the final when Ravichandran Ashwin was announced in the squad for the World Cup? Rohit Sharma said that I know Ashwin has been practicing and that he's undergoing math simulations. He may not be playing for India, but a man with his caliber and of the experience that he has, he says that he's been on the phone with him and he knows that he's been hitting the nets. So that is Ravichandran Ashwin's work ethic for you. He may not be playing for India at all times, but he stays so committed to his role as an all-rounder and as a cricketer that he continues to practice even when he may not necessarily be named in the playing 11 or in fact be there in the squad as well. So this is as far as Ravichandran Ashwin's plan for retirement is concerned. But let's now talk about the subject that not many Indian cricketers have talked about in recent times. Virat Kohli is one individual that comes to my mind when you talk about mental health. Virat Kohli did say how 2014 was a dark phase for him as well, how he really struggled, how he had tears in his eyes, how he realized that it's not the way he's going to look, it's not the way he's going to bat. He needs to set certain things in order after that woeful tour that he had in England. Ravichandran Ashwin also says that in 2019 he was suffering through a dark phase. What exactly has Ravichandran Ashwin said? Let's tell you about that. This is what Ravichandran Ashwin says when it comes to mental health. He says that I am not being diplomatic, but for 4 to 5 years since 2019, so that's a good 4-year period that you're looking at, I found myself in a very dark space in life and I took help for mental health as well. So Ravichandran Ashwin opening up that he has indeed sought attention, he's indeed sought help to sort things out as far as his mental state is concerned. He also says that in the dark space, I realized that I have to be ready for any eventuality. Ravichandran Ashwin, by the way, hasn't been dealt in the most fair manner, one can say, or has often gotten the short end of the stick. Why I say that? Because let's not forget, when everyone thought and every Indian cricket fan sort of was hoping that Ravichandran Ashwin plays in the World Test Championship final, well, he was not given a chance to feature in the 11. It was Shardul Thakur who was in fact named in the 11. So not just this particular instance, but Ravichandran Ashwin over the years since 2019, as he says, has seen plenty of these occasions where he's been left high and dry. He's not been offered an explanation. He gave an interview just a couple of months back. We here at Sports Today told you about it as well. This interview that he did after the World Test Championship final, where he felt that the dressing room atmosphere has also kind of changed over the years. It's not the same as it earlier used to be. So he's one of those vocal cricketers who talks about things in a much free, open and candid manner than some of the other cricketers do. But he's always very, very clear as to what he wants in life. In fact, I remember not too long back, about 4 years back, when I was with another organization, there was a Ravichandran Ashwin interview that we conducted, and he was so confident of his ability even back then. He wasn't the second highest wicket taker in Test cricket for India back then. He hadn't closed in on the 100 Test matches that he's now closing in on. But even then, Ravichandran Ashwin was in fact confident of his abilities, and he was like, he used to say that even if it's not for cricket, I know I can do so many other things in life, and I'm so good at it that I won't be struggling in life if it wasn't for cricket. Ravichandran Ashwin, by the way, is one of the sharpest minds. He's not given due credit, or it's not being talked about that much, but Ravichandran Ashwin indeed is one of the sharpest brains. You listen to some of his interviews, you listen to some of his podcasts, the things that he says on his YouTube channel as well. Probably the day that he decides to call it quits in the game of cricket, there will be plenty of teams, plenty of franchises that would want to hire Ravichandran Ashwin, the analyst, Ravichandran Ashwin, the sort of think tank that he perhaps is in himself, the kind of thinking cricketer that he is. He'll make for a very, very good cricket statistician, analyst, and a planner of the game as well. Again, not talked about much, but those who followed Ravichandran Ashwin, and I can tell you with a certain degree of surety that Ravichandran Ashwin is indeed an astute and a very sharp cricket mind. So those were the thoughts of Ravichandran Ashwin as far as his mental health is concerned. Also, when he will know what's the right time for him to hang his boots. But would you want to have seen Ravichandran Ashwin in ODI setup? You're looking at Washington Sundar, who's now been named. You're possibly in many ways shutting the door on Ravichandran Ashwin when you have a T20 World Cup coming up, when obviously the ODI World Cup then becomes a different ball game altogether, because age may perhaps not be on Ravichandran Ashwin's side. But where do you see Ravichandran Ashwin, the white ball bowler? I would want to see your thoughts on that. So do let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts on Ravichandran Ashwin, the white ball bowler? This is what we know as far as his mental state at the moment, as well as his drive and motivation is concerned right now. So this is what Ravichandran Ashwin had to say. In case you're joining us right now, please do go back. We've talked about Ravichandran Ashwin, his performances in the ODI World Cup, what he offers, and what his drive has been this whole while, and when exactly will he know is the right time for him to retire. He has now finally opened up on that.